So part of the setup process also be to identify points to test. In this case, we're testing for tenderness and pressure points. So we're going to identify 2 symptomatic sites, 2 control sites. So we're going to try to find a spot where the patient has the most amount of discomfort or pain. So we're going to test here. Does it hurt here?
4.
4? Okay, so make sure we're going to remember on a scale of 1 to 10, the patient's been instructed to give us the level of pain. What about here?
6.
6? Is it more here?
Yeah, about an 8.
An
That's
8.
about as...
Okay. So is that about as bad as it gets?
Yeah.
Okay. So we found the symptomatic site. Patient is rated at 8 out of 10. We're going to use that number to enter into the test for the VAS score for pain. Now we're going to find the control site. So we want to find a site that has no tenderness. That's typically going to be rating a 0 or 1. Is this tender at all?
No, that's good.
Okay, so this will be our control site. So these are going to be sites that we're going to use for testing. This is going to be a symptomatic site and a control site. We're also going to identify a symptomatic and control site on the other side, and this is what we're going to be using for testing with algometry. You're going to use the same system for identifying pain and pain rating if you're testing range of motion and for nerve testing. Patient setup has been completed. We have identified 2 symptomatic sites of tenderness. We're going to measure with algometry using the algometer. This is going to apply a pressure. It is going to measure the pressure applied, allow us to record the amount of tenderness that is required to stimulate onset of pain. Patient will be instructed to press the trigger when they note onset of pain. Make sure you have instructed the patient on appropriate time to trigger the response. We don't want the patient to wait until it's extremely painful. We're not measuring how much pain they can tolerate. We want to measure when they note onset of discomfort or pain. They need to be consistent throughout the test. When we do the test, we're going to test at each location 3 times. Be 3 trials at the symptomatic site, 3 trials at the control site, 3 trials at the symptomatic site on the right, and 3 trials at the control site on the right. Once patient data is entered into a computer, you'll start the test. The test will prompt you on what to do. We will go ahead and proceed with testing.